This abstract visualization represents a weapon built entirely out of code. It is designed to interact with physical hardware, shredding mechanical components from the inside out using nothing but digital instructions. Deep inside the original source code, researchers discovered a specific sequence of numbers, 19790509. This hidden string became a central piece of evidence for experts trying to trace the origins of the attack. In the early 2000s, Iran began rapidly expanding its nuclear program, focusing on the enrichment of uranium. This development triggered intense scrutiny from Western intelligence agencies, concerned about the potential for weapons manufacturing. The center of this program was Natanz. As seen in this satellite imagery, the facility is a sprawling, isolated complex designed to protect sensitive operations from external observation and physical attack. This photograph shows the interior of the facility, where rows of tall, metallic centrifuges spin at supersonic speeds. These machines are the core of the enrichment process, requiring precise, constant calibration to remain stable. Western governments viewed the scale of this enrichment as an immediate threat. They needed a way to halt the process without resorting to a traditional military strike. A kinetic strike, a direct bombing of the facility, was considered a last resort. Such an action risked triggering a massive, uncontrolled conflict across the Middle East. Diplomatic efforts and economic sanctions were already in place, but they were failing to slow the enrichment progress at a rate that satisfied international observers. This led to the development of a silent alternative, a cyber weapon designed to infiltrate the facility's control systems and cause physical, structural failure in the machinery. The attackers faced a significant technical hurdle. Natanz was an air-gapped facility. As this diagram shows, its internal network was physically disconnected from the global internet, making it impossible to hack into the system remotely. Delivering the digital payload required finding a way to bridge this physical divide, bypassing the most stringent security measures in the Iranian nuclear program. The breach relied on a surprisingly common tool. Researchers believe the virus, known as Stuxnet, crossed the air gap on an infected USB drive similar to this one. Once a single worker plugged an infected drive into a workstation inside Natanz, the virus bypassed the facility's isolation and began spreading through the internal network. Inside the network, Stuxnet was highly disciplined. It remained dormant on thousands of office computers, refusing to activate or cause any visible disruption to ordinary files. The code's targeting logic was precise. It ignored generic systems, hunting specifically for industrial control units manufactured by Siemens. It only fully activated when it confirmed those units were connected to a specific configuration of enrichment centrifuges, ensuring a highly confined attack. Once in control, Stuxnet manipulated the frequency of the centrifuge motors. By forcing the machines to spin at erratic, unsafe speeds, the software induced structural vibrations that caused the cylinders to physically degrade. The destruction was calibrated to happen over several months. This slow pace ensured the failure looked like a series of routine maintenance issues rather than an external attack. Stuxnet also managed the facility's feedback loop. While sabotaging hardware on the left, it fed fake normal data to operators' monitors on the right. This blinded technicians. Even as equipment reached catastrophic failure, control room screens showed stable, normal operating pressures.
Iranian engineers were left in a state of total confusion. They replaced hundreds of damaged parts and scrutinized their own manufacturing processes, never suspecting that the failures were being dictated by a piece of software. Stuxnet succeeded by turning the facility's own monitoring systems against its operators, allowing the sabotage to continue in plain sight for nearly a year. In 2010, the virus escaped its intended environment. It spread to external computers around the world, eventually catching the attention of cybersecurity researchers, who began an in-depth analysis of the code. Analysis revealed a level of complexity that shocked the industry. The malware was far larger and more sophisticated than anything previously documented in the history of cybercrime. Stuxnet utilized an unprecedented number of zero-day exploits, vulnerabilities that are unknown to the software manufacturer. Finding even one is a major feat. Using several in a single weapon requires enormous resources. The 1979-0509 sequence found in the code added another layer to the investigation.
Researchers noted that May 9, 1979, was the date a prominent figure was executed in Iran, leading many to conclude the string was a deliberate reference to the target's history. The cost of these zero-day exploits and the inclusion of specific historical dates pointed to a project backed by the resources of a national government. This was the first clear evidence of a state-sponsored digital weapon. Stuxnet established a new precedent for international conflict. It demonstrated that software could be used to achieve the same physical objectives as a conventional military strike. The implications extend far beyond nuclear facilities. The same industrial controllers targeted by Stuxnet manage modern power grids, water systems, and transportation networks. Stuxnet was discovered over a decade ago. It raises the question of what sophisticated, invisible tools have been developed in the years since, and where they might currently be deployed. Share your thoughts on the future of cyber warfare in the comments below. If you found this investigation valuable, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our world.